You guys, spiritual resilience, I tell you, strength through Jesus. Strength through Jesus, guys. That's how you build your spiritual resilience. Always acknowledge the Father in all your ways, no matter what you're going through. You know, no matter what you're going through. It's a lot of people, they don't have any spiritual resilience. That's in the church. It's a lot of people that's walking around. They claim to be Christians, claim to be believers, but soon as chaos wreak havoc on their life, they start blaming the Father for everything. They start mocking Jesus, and they start living on their own. They start living on their own will instead of living for the Father in heaven. That's no spiritual resilience. Spiritual resilience is when you gonna be with the Father in heaven, right? No matter what happened to you. You ain't gonna blame the Father in heaven for anything, because it ain't the Father in heaven's fault. Most of it is because of our fault, because of the bad decisions we make in life, because we choose not to listen. Father in heaven would have got us where we need to be at, and as sooner than possible, but we don't want to listen to that way. The way that the Father in heaven wants us to go, we don't want to listen, because it's not pleasing to our flesh. It's not popular. We want to follow the trends. We want to follow what everybody else is doing, and we don't know where they're going. See what I'm saying? And I see this a lot. People, when they lose people, when they lose family members, they lose friends, they lose their kids, they lose their mom, dad, and they blame the Father in heaven. Don't do that. You don't want to blame the Father in heaven for something that he has no part of. That's like your kids blaming you for stuff you have no control, no part of. See what I'm saying? Shit happens. Excuse my language, but shit happens. But you got to stay strong, though. That's why I say, don't never rely on your own strength. Always rely on strength through Jesus. Jesus gives you strength. Because you got to think of it like this. When Jesus went up on that cross, when he was getting crucified, he was thinking about you the whole time. And when Jesus said, take up your cross daily and die of your flesh at the same time, people thinking that following Jesus is easy. People thinking that following Jesus is going to be like skipping on a railroad, like skipping on a rainbow. They think this is some Wizards of Oz type stuff when you skipping down the gold road. They thinking they lollygagging, thinking it's funny, thinking it's a joke, thinking it's going to be easy, thinking that you ain't going to have to go through no trial and error, no hardship, thinking that you ain't going to get whipped up to death, thinking that you ain't going to experience no pain and suffering. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. If it was that easy, everybody will get saved. Jesus leaves it as an option for anybody to get saved, but it's up to you to die of your flesh, take up your cross daily, which means you're going to experience trial and tribulation. Jesus says this. You're going to experience hardships. You're going to experience getting attacked by Satan every chance you look up. You're going to experience those things. But you don't fear those things. Why? Because you have Jesus by your side. Jesus gives you strength to keep going. When I started preaching the gospel, my health declined. And I'm still not 100% right now as I'm making this video. But I'm in pain every single day. And I've been in pain now for like almost over a half a year. I've been in pain. My back, my spine, my scoliosis, my spine locked up. And I'm still recovering from that. And I'll be in severe pain. I still have to go to work while still my bronchitis is acting up on me. And I got to deal with that, shortness of breath. Sometimes when I do these videos, I'm almost out of breath after I get done. And it's hot, that ain't gonna make it no better. And you know, my spine and my neck, it travels up my spine. My neck, traveling from my upper back to my neck. If I hold my head down or a certain position, long periods of time, my neck started hurting. So my back and neck started hurting. Plus my bronchitis, which is causing shortness of breath and chest pains. I barely can exercise the way I want to exercise. Why? Because your back, once your back go out, once your back is weak, it hinders your ability to lift weights. You know, so I've been using stretch bands to try to like strengthen my back a little bit, but it's taken a long time. Guess what? I'm still not using it as an excuse, guys, not to, I'm not using that excuse not to do what the Father wants me to do, His will on earth. I'm not using that as no excuse. I'm not blaming the Father for my health declining. You see what I'm saying? I'm not blaming the Father because I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with right now. I have Jesus by my side. Jesus gave me strength to continue, guys, to come on here and make these videos and preach the gospel and trying to still save you guys. And I know some of you guys is going to look at this video and you're going to go right about your day. You might talk crap in the comment section, but it's fine. I still love you. Doesn't matter. This video is for the people that's going to take heed of what I'm saying, and that's going to take heed to what Jesus is saying, and it's going to take heed to what the Father in heaven is saying. This video is for those people. The peoples that want to be carnal minded, they want to live life with a blind eye. They want to they see everything that's going on. They see the signs, but they still pretend and be disingenuous like it ain't happening, like they don't see it. Those people is on them. Whatever happens to them is on them. I wish them the best. You know, I'm always going to pray for you. I pray for the world, pray for everybody. Even though a lot of people, they refuse to pray for themselves and everybody else, that's fine. But at the end of the day, guys, you have to pick a side, because the Father in heaven is not playing with nobody. The only way is through Jesus. There is no picking no idols. There is no worshiping idols. There is no worshiping people. There is no doing none of that. You know, if you don't want to get it together right now, it's going to be too late, because when the rapture comes, what you going to do? You're going to have to live here and suffer the tribulations. And your children is too, because your children will suffer due to a lack of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of thy parent. So you don't want to condemn your children, guys, for being ignorant. See what I'm saying? So it's serious. And you want to build that spiritual resilience up through Jesus. You know? Always stand in your word, always stand vigilant. And like I say, when you take up your cross every day, you're going to get beaten. You know, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I also got to tell you the truth. You're going to get whipped up. You're going to feel pain and suffering. But I'm telling you guys, I just told you guys that what I'm going through right now with my health problems, but you see me, I'm still on here making these videos. I'm still going through Jesus. Jesus give me strength. I don't rely on my own strength anymore, because I didn't have any strength left. You see what I'm saying? To keep going. When I first started getting, my health started declining, I didn't have any more strength. So I just focused on Jesus. What He did for me on that cross, He was thinking about me. And that's the same thing I'm doing now with these videos, spreading the gospel. Even though I'm in pain, even though I feel like giving up. But what keeps me going every single day and to continue on to spread the gospel and try to help people is Jesus. Jesus gives me the strength to keep going. See what I'm saying, guys? You know? And I hope this video helps somebody.